before we get on to what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're playing, you guys wanted to talk about Chef. It's a movie that I wanted to watch, and I apologize, podcasters. I wanted to watch this movie for this episode, but I don't know. I'm just like really weird with my movies. I can't just play it in the background. How do you feel about that movie, Chef, bro?
I love it. It's so
Is it anime?
yeah, it definitely does have the anime soul in the underdog story, but no, it's a live action movie. It's written, directed, and starred by Jon Favreau, who, if you know, is the guy that did The Mandalorian and Elf with Will Ferrell and all that. So
Yeah.
dude's an amazing actor, writer, all of that, all in one. And it's pretty much a story of he is like a Michelin star chef, or he's like a really high ranking chef. He gets like a bad review or something like that. And then he just says, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to up and quit. Like, but yeah, the premise of the movie is just him on a food truck going across the country, trying to create like the perfect Cuban sandwich.
Is he Cuban in the movie?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, he is married to Sophie Vergara in the movie. She is in the movie.
Sofia Vergara is just married to every fat white guy.
Yeah, she's in
Hollywood.
the movie. I just pulled it up while we were talking about it, and I saw her face on it, and I'm like, oh, so she is in the movie. I think she's like, she plays the wife, and she doesn't want him to do it because he's gonna be like on the road the whole time. I think he even takes his son, right?
Yeah, he takes his son and his best friend.
To do the food truck thing. So they go to like every single state that has like a food truck thing. I think he even end up in California too. And
yeah.
all those like high-end places, and just basically what you said, perfecting the Cuban sandwich.
Yeah, no, it is an amazing movie.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
do want to watch
just the come up story of the whole thing is very, very good.
No, it's good.
That's what
I will say one little like tidbit of information. Jon Favreau actually before that movie did not know how to cook anything.
Really?
And that first scene, the opening scene where
the
he's
montage, right?
where he's in the restaurant like making everything.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah.
Nobody else
him.
helped him. He did everything himself.
No, man, it looks good. That's why I bring it up as far as like anime, because I started it, but I didn't get to. I was like, damn, this movie is a little bit too good for me to be playing it in the background. So he does like nice techniques, and it's actually him.
Yeah.
So that's surprising
Yeah.
that he didn't know. I thought he had a passion for cooking, and he's just this director, so he wanted to combine it. So
No, he picked it up for that movie. He wanted to write a movie for it, and then he was just like, no, I need to learn how to cook if I'm going to be acting in it.
No,
I'm
of
not
course.
going to have a double.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How'd you like the movie?
No, I like that movie, man. It was a pretty good movie. But I'm trying to remember as much of it because it's just been such a long time.
Yeah.
And wasn't it like an emotional movie too?
Yeah, there were a couple scenes where I like teared up a little bit, like when his son burned his hand on the plancha, like trying to pull one of the sandwiches off. Like he was like tearing into him a little bit, and then his friend was just like, "Hey, man, he's just a kid. He's trying to help you out. He's working like 12 hours just like you are. You got to cut him some slack." And then like all that parent bonding. Such a good movie, man. It's such a great movie. It's definitely my top 5.
Damn. Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Okay.
Like top 5 in general, like top 5 like cooking movies.
Top 5
Are there
food
5?
related movies.
Are there-
related movies.
are
Oh,
there
there's so
5?
many movies for.
Well, the
food
other one that
related.
I want to talk about was Burnt.
Okay.
So like Burnt is one where the chef itself is like an alcoholic, but he's trying to get cleaned up because he has like 2 Michelin stars under his belt, and I don't think in the movie anybody has a third one. So he wanted to be like that first chef to achieve that. But he talks about like aspects about being a chef, the head chef, you know what I mean? And just like the pressure, the critics, and how everything has to be to the T perfect.
Yeah. You're
And
not allowed
it's-
to make mistakes.
It's like OCD inside the kitchen, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you can see like, I don't know, something about it is just crazy, man. Like the environment that they have is just like fast paced, and it's like people are screaming at each other, but like you need to have like really tough skin to be a line cook.
What they did in Burnt is very much how a kitchen operates. That is something called a French brigade. Like every like high-end Michelin star restaurant, everybody operates the same concept of the French brigade. There's the chain of command. You have your head chef and then everything else. Head chef is the one that does it, and then everyone else replicates.
Yeah.
And yeah, I completely agree with that movie, and like with what you were saying, it is intensely difficult to like.
I feel like everybody's like at each other's throats.
Yeah. Granted, that movie is dramatized to like make it more dramatic, but yeah,
No, but even in like the Netflix shows with Ramsey, like food,
Hell's Kitchen and
Hell's
stuff like that.
Kitchen. Yeah. Oh, Hell's Kitchen. And he's like screaming at them.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
What are you, an
bloody
Indian
fuck.
sandwich?
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
You're like, you don't know how to cook something, you fucking burnt this shit, and like,
Yeah.
take it back and start all over again. Like, we got people we gotta serve. And it's just like, it's cutthroat shit, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, I can't imagine myself working like under all that pressure. But I guess
I
like,
wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want to either.
Fuck
like,
that.
especially if they're gonna be cursing, but you gotta take it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like in that industry, you just have to have like really thick ass skin. And in that movie, Burnt, it felt the same way because he really comes out as a fucking asshole all the time,
Yeah.
just screaming at them and just like, you
Mhm.
can't even make the simplest shit. Like, he'll let you know you need to do it this way, and like it has to be done this way. But then you are the top chef, so you are the one being represented. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, when the dish comes out, it doesn't fall on the line cooks. It doesn't fall who's beneath. It
Mhm.
falls on you as the main chef. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're quality control. Like
Yeah.
your name is on the line, not anybody else's.
And it's funny because they're not even like the ones actually cooking. They're the ones that actually like making sure that whatever comes out of the kitchen is to the T.
Mhm.
Like, they make sure the plates is nice and clean. Like, every little piece of, you know,
Yeah,
whatever
the microgreens are
Yeah,
exactly where they need
would
to
need
be.
to be before he like sends them out. Like,
Yeah.
he even like tastes everything. But he does come up with the recipe, and then he has to show his line cooks how to replicate it, like you said.
I have some sort of like understanding. Like, I understand why it is like that they get so angry. It's because like you're at that level where you're expected to be flawless. Like,
Mhm.
at that point, you're already supposed to be like flawless. Like, if you ever watch like MasterChef Kids, where Gordon Ramsay is like working
a
with
little
the
bit
kids,
nicer.
he's so much nicer to
He
him
dials it
because
down.
He's super nice in that damn show.
Yeah, he
because the
dials it
kids
down.
don't know. They're still in the process of learning. Like, if you are an adult who have made your career out of cooking, yeah, you're going to be called a fucking idiot if you can't even sear a fish right, if you're supposed to know how to sear a fucking fish.
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge difference in like knowing your shit and then learning shit.
I mean, that's how it is like in the anime, you know, taking it back to Food Wars, like teachers or the instructors are very strict and they are like pass or fail. Like, you need to it's either good enough to be in my restaurant or take it back to the drawing board. So, you know, as far as like, you know, your example to Gordon Ramsay, how nice he is to these kids, I think that's a little unfair.
Fuck them kids.
No.
He's nice in coaching them.
He's not
It's-
doing them a disservice by not being mean to them, but I just think that, you know,
But then again, like, if you watch a show where Jordan he's calling these kids fucking stupid heads.
Oh yeah, that would be
You
child
know,
abuse.
That's child abuse. So they probably tell him like, yo, you need to dial it down. Remember, these are kids.
he probably does it and they just cut it all out. Yeah.
You never know, bro. You never know.
The kids come out with like
Crying.
shell-shocked eyes. They're just
Yes.
like they just saw war.
So he has to like dial it down. But you're right. Like, the people for like Master Chefs, they
Right.
do come as like, you should know what you're
Yeah.
doing. So then he gets pissed off when you're like, this is basic shit, and you're here to basically show that you should be the next Master Chef, but you can't do this correctly.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, you don't deserve to be there if you can't be in that position. Like, it's just that. One show I will say that's very good, I don't know if either of you have watched it, is The Bear on Hulu.
I've heard of it. It's with that guy from Shameless, right?
Yeah, Jeremy Allen White.
Yes, I've seen like clips on it here and there, and I've been wanting to watch it just because it looks really good.
So
Cooking
good.
or what?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a cooking show.
a cooking show, but
Is he like the head chef too, or he plays the head chef?
so pretty much he was like a Michelin star restaurant like head chef there, or like the sous chef to the head chef. So he was like second in charge, and he steps away from that because the restaurant owner dies and he inherits the restaurant, and it's like just this like prime rib shop in Chicago.
Ooh, I love ribs.
Not prime rib, it's a different thing. It's
Oh,
like a
pri-
cut of meat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My bad. So like,
He inherits the restaurant and he goes like wanting to step it up and like not just have it be like just a place that you can get like a $5 hoagie kind of thing.
Right.
Like, you actually have like some quality stuff, and also working his way out of the like mountain of debt that like his friend put the business under, and just the techniques, the story, the way that like you see it go from like the burnt scenario where everyone's like screaming at each other and it's like real tense to becoming almost like a family, and everyone like works together, and it's just like, oh, you need this, here, let me help you out with this, and like everyone has their own like little spot, everyone works out together, and it's like it just is such a beautiful show. Like that's also on my top 5.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
I've
It's
been wanting
really,
to
really
watch
good.
that one actually.
I highly recommend it.
I definitely will. And then the last movie I wanted to bring up was The Menu, which is a more recent movie about cooking with a little aspect of horror and psychological, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Oh.
But I've seen like glimpses of it on YouTube and whatever. You said you've seen it, right?
Yes, it is a very
So-
good movie.
Is it anime, bro?
No, it's
No,
not
at all.
Well, when I say anime, I don't mean like is it anime. I meant like is
Does
it
it have
like
anime soul?
does it have anime? Does it have the soul of anime?
What The Menu, no, is more like a horror psychological thing where
Yeah, it's like
This-
it's very much a drama.
yeah,
Mm.
where
Okay.
and what I like about the way he cooks is more artistic, like more like he's trying to paint a picture with food, which I think is pretty dope. So there's like different aspects of when it comes to food, like so many aspects. Like there's a show on Netflix that is like a competition show, but for barbecue.
Yeah,
And I love
Pitmasters.
Oh my god, I love watching that. I get hungry every time I see them make a brisket, ribs, and the different ways of making it. Like you can bake it, you can roast it, you can smoke it, you can, and the degrees and like I think there was like a challenge where they all had to do a whole pig, you know, which in our Spanish culture, there's a like
pig,
we
yeah,
dig
pig
a
and everything.
hole, we put the coals, and then
Put
we
the
make like
bricks
some
in it.
type of system to like rotate it.
Yes,
Like
sir.
it's something that we do in our culture, but they also have like different ways of like cooking it and like how good are you like roasting a pig
Mhm.
and like knowing the temperatures and knowing like the way the skin breaks down or how to make the skin like all nice and crunchy,
Yeah.
like what to add it, but then also make the meat inside nice and tender and juicy, not dry. You know what I mean? So it's so much aspects that go into it, but I love watching that show because they do fuck up sometimes. And even though they say they're like, oh, I've been, you know, barbecuing for years, like in my state, in Texas or Missouri or wherever the hell they're from, you know, they're like, I've been doing this for like 20 something years. I know how to roast something or I know how to barbecue something, but then they fuck up. You know, you see them fuck up like, God damn, shit came out too dry.
Yeah, then-
And it does happen, you know what I mean? And I love that though. But and then there's like people that bring their own flavor to it, like give it more of a Hispanic taste to it or something like that. And even with the side dishes too, like the cornbread, the mac and cheese, the coleslaw, like stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I love that show. Every time I watch it, I just want to eat barbecue afterwards.
Yeah, no, it's delicious.